Deepwater Horizon is directed by Peter Berg and stars Mark Wahlberg, Kurt Russell, John Malkovich, Gina Rodriguez, Dylan O'Brien and Kate Hudson. It's a survival disaster film based on the true story of the 2010 Deepwater Horizon explosion and oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico, and we follow the crew of the Deepwater Horizon as they desperately attempt to survive the disaster. I was looking forward to this film for a couple of reasons, one of them being the story. The oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico is recent history, and I remember when it was dominating the news, so I was interested in seeing what really went down because I didn't really pay much attention to it when it was in the news. And there's another collaboration between Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg. The last film these two did together was Lone Survivor, another survival movie based on a true story, and I really liked Lone Survivor, so I wanted to see if they could do it again with Deepwater Horizon, and boy, did they. Jumping right into it, this film was brutal. What these guys experienced, the things they had to go through were just brutal. Guys get blown against walls, blown into fences, doors, they fly off the side of cranes and hit 2 or 3 ledges and boxes on the way down. The brutality of the situations and scenarios that this crew had to go through really surprised me. And the more the film goes on, the worse the catastrophe gets. More things start blowing up, more structures start collapsing. I was sitting there in the cinema with my mouth open in shock. My heart was racing throughout the entire second half of this film. Which is definitely the best thing about Deepwater Horizon, the disaster survival aspect. That's what you watch this film for, to witness these horrific events that really took place, and the film delivers on that and then some. It is really riveting. And the thing that amplified these events were, number one, the performances. Everybody was great in this film. At the start, they're going around the oil rig and they're having banter and exchanges of sarcasm, making them all feel like real people in a real work environment. But when stuff goes down, they all switch gear, and when they're fighting for their lives, you feel it. Convincing performances across the board in Deepwater Horizon. And number two, the fact that all of this actually happened made it all the more impactful to watch. For me personally, this film was a big eye-opener because when the Gulf of Mexico oil spill was dominating the news, like I said, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I don't pay too much attention to major news like this, especially not back in 2010 when I was in high school. So me being me, I just thought there was some leak in some pipe and now we have a simple oil spill. Then this film comes along and slaps me in the face and tells me, no actually, there was an explosion on an oil rig that left over 120 crew members fighting for their lives, and in the aftermath over 200 million tons of oil was leaked into the Gulf of Mexico, and it was the worst oil disaster in US history. And now I'm just floored because I had no idea that this actually happened until this film came along, and now I have a lot more respect for people in this line of work. Which leads me to the end of this film, no spoilers. There's something towards the end that I just love seeing in survival films. People's will to survive. I love seeing people just try and survive by any means. You get a bit of that towards the end, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost teared up at the end of this film. It goes for the emotion and it's effective, mainly because, once again, all of this actually happened. Overall, I really liked Deepwater Horizon. It takes a while to actually get to the disaster on the oil rig, but the content and information in the meantime that's being given is relevant to the story, so hold out the first 35 to 40 minutes, then disaster will strike. And after that, it's all worth it because the rest of the film is a brutal, surprising, intense and riveting survival thriller. It's nothing complex, but it's a damn good film that does exactly what it was meant to do, and I'm going to give it a strong 4 out of 5. It's probably one of my favourite films of the year so far. Thanks for watching and listening as always guys. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Deepwater Horizon if you have seen the film, and also tell me what is your favourite survival, disaster, true story type film. Let me know all that stuff in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more of my stuff, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.